Going to get started here in just a few seconds. Want to welcome those of you that are already here. Welcome visitors, welcome guests, community members. Welcome to your solution, 30 to 45 minutes of mind optimization and spirit recalibration. What are we doing here? This is where we come up with solution and the first step. This is a time for us to take out of our busy day and begin to prepare for the week ahead. So we're here to create, come up with solution, find the first step, and of course, to take action. That's why we're here. So I'm going to ask you politely to please make sure you have a pen with you, some notes, a piece of paper so that you can take notes. I'm going to invite you to participate on this podcast. I believe it's number 168. Number 168, I believe. There we go. And this is an oasis for refocusing, my friends. We're going to get started here in just a few seconds. Hey, welcome, Jim. Today's topic is momentum. Momentum. We're going to be talking about distractions a little bit. Hopefully we'll get some commentary here. Ideas that distract. How are you getting you to do it? How are you getting you to do what it is that you need to be doing? Because there are many distractions. All right. We're going to get started here. Welcome. Make sure that you're tucked in nice and tight. Put your seatbelt nice and tight. Lock the door. Turn down all distractions to a minimum roar. And let's get ready for a ride. Hey, Jim. Looks like it's just me and you. Well, there's a couple other people here in the background. Looks like they're probably peeking in and out. We are broadcasting live via Facebook. So I want to welcome Facebook, YouTube, welcome YouTube, and LinkedIn. A shout out to those professionals on LinkedIn. There are many professionals out there that could use this time for refocusing because you may have a serious problem with gambling yourself or some form of gambling. So LinkedIn is not exempt, and neither is Facebook. We do have a group on Facebook, a small group that we're working with as much as I can. But here we are once again. So thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Keith, I will be, if you have a question, you have something that you want to ask. I've got a little video I want to play before we even get started because we are talking about momentum. So Jim, if you're here and you want to come on the camera, we're going to be talking about this thing called momentum. And what is momentum? How can we keep it going? And is it important in our lives right now? And should you have momentum going on in your life right now with everything that's going on all around you? All right, I want to do this here. If I can. There we go. So Jim is going to be, yeah, you're welcome to come on the camera. Let me get this clip on. I want to share a screen here. It's just a little bit of a clip that I'm going to be playing here. What is it? Couple minute clip. The tale of momentum. This is kind of interesting here. Let me see if we can play it, hopefully. Oh boy. I thought that was the cutest thing there. We're talking about momentum here on this broadcast, and is momentum important in your life today? Do you have momentum, or are you looking for that first step to take action to be able to create the momentum that you need in your life? All right, I'm going to be taking questions. Hopefully some observations. Maybe that video scared you a little bit. I thought it was kind of neat. You know, what can you learn from that video? What can you learn from the momentum that was created in that video? What can we walk away? Hey, Laura, welcome. Good evening. And by the way, if you're not Soldier Scribe to this channel, I'm going to invite you to Soldier Scribe. The Rock from Brockton. There we go. The Rock from Brockton. Welcome. And all of you, Keith, welcome. There's a few others that are in the background. I don't know why. Maybe you might be struggling with gambling. By the way, gambling is a lie. Gambling is a lie. Gambling is not something that you want to continue. You don't want momentum. You don't want momentum in that area, right? You want de-momentum. You want to stop that momentum if you're still gambling. So once again, this is where we come up with solution on this broadcast. We have about 45 minutes to do this. This is an oasis for us just to get away from the hustle and bustle and just take some time to think, right? Take some time to use the noggin, the brain, the computer. And so take notes, participate if you want to, ask questions. If you keep asking the wrong questions, you're going to get the wrong answers. If you keep asking the wrong questions, you're going to finally get to the right question and you're going to find the right solution or the right answer. All right. And all right. So we got a proverb coming up here, and we're going to let Jim join us here in a little bit, about 10 minutes or so. Jim is going to come on and share his insight with me, and we're going to do our best to help enlighten you, put you in the driver's seat once again. If you need to get back in the driver's seat, maybe you were in the driver's seat at one point, but you slipped into the back seat and you feel like you're going for a ride. You feel like you're the backseat driver. You ever been there? Or you're the side street, right? You don't want to be there, especially if your driver is a little bit cuckoo. You want to be in the driver's seat. That's the goal, right? To stay in the driver's seat. That's the momentum that we need. So let me get into the proverb. Anybody got a question? Any questions? This broadcast is going to go very quick, by the way. Let me see here. We've got John, where are we at? John 1:12. John, this is the proverb for the day, John 1:12 and 13. Let me read it. Here we go. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name. Belief. Like that word, belief. Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. They were born of God. There's a lot of mystery to these proverbs. I don't claim to know all the mysteries. I just enjoy reading them, and I pass them on to you because I do believe it's soul food, fresh soul food. All right, so we've got no questions, no chat, nothing going on here. It's awfully quiet, awfully quiet. So here's my first question that we're going to work on. Okay. How are you getting you to do it? How are you getting you to do it? To do what, Santos? To keep your momentum. How are you doing it? I'm open for answers. Oh, we got to get something here. How are you doing it? How are you keeping your momentum away from problem gambling? How's that going? How are you doing that? Or maybe this will be the broadcast today that helps you get your momentum going. It's one or the other, right? We're going to try something here. Flavor a little bit of water. Can I get a journal? Of course you can, Mark. I've got a few of them left. You just need to send me an address, man. Send me a P.O. box and I will send you one. I'm not going to put anything on the inside. I won't label it. You know, I'll just leave it blank. Hello, my name is so-and-so. One of the most powerful tools that you can have at your disposal right here. One of the most powerful tools that you can have. I'm going to say this because I want it to sink in. One of the most powerful tools that you will have available at your disposal is a little journal. So yes, I will send it to you. Make sure that you send me an address, a P.O. box, a home, a cave, something. So yes, can I get a journal? Yes, you can get a journal. We've got that one. Let me see. I've lost a lot. I've lost a lot of my momentum, and hopefully Jim will hang around for a little bit. We're going to bring him on the screen here. Time is going to go by very quickly. I lost a lot of my momentum. It's been a tough struggle, but I know I got to start over and begin a new chapter. Yes. And that's why we meet on Sundays. That's why we meet on Sundays, right? Because tomorrow's Monday. Is tomorrow Monday? Or is tomorrow someday? Tomorrow's someday for some people. Tomorrow is someday. And today is someday, right? I'm going to change. Someday I'm going to change. Someday. Someday I'm going to create momentum. Someday, right? S-O-M-E. Today could be that day for you. Right here, this broadcast could be that day for you. So I'm glad you're here. Yes. It's not just business, but my day to day as well. We all have these ugly challenges. Every one of us, we have these challenges. And in particular, we're dealing with a world that's a system that's run amok. I mean, we're dealing with now they're going to shoot Senator Pelosi? They're going to shoot her plane down. Somebody said she's not going to be on the plane. It's going to be a dummy. What is that all about? What is this momentum being created for? We're already at war. Do we need another second war on the sidelines now? I tell you, it's crazy. And you and I, we have to maintain the little bit that we've got. You know, that's why we're talking about momentum. And there's a lot of things about momentum that we need to be aware of. One of the greatest things is you have to protect your momentum once it's created. You have to do everything. Did you see that video that I played earlier about that rock monster? He was protecting those houses there on the cliff, and that big old rock was coming down, had a lot of momentum. It was going to crush the houses. So he got right in front of that big rock that was going to crush those little houses. If you saw the video earlier, he stopped it. But what happened? It looked like the village was ungrateful. They were poking guns at him, at the person, stopping the momentum from hurting them. So he looked at them a little bit strange and said, you know what? The heck with you guys. You guys don't want to work with me? He opens up and lets the rock come down and crush the whole little environment. It's kind of a funny video, but it's true, right? It is true. We have to protect and we have to be aware when there's momentum going on. We need to protect momentum. And we also need to be aware of wrong momentum, because wrong momentum can plow you over, right? Does that make sense? I don't want to preach too much on this broadcast. Brockton, Massachusetts. He says, hey, Mark, I'm here. Okay, I've been there. So that's, yeah, so that's what's happening with momentum. Anyways, I know that we all need to create and keep momentum in our lives. Now, if you're failing, here's this to ponder. If you're failing with your momentum, my question to you is, what are you learning from that failure? What are you learning from your failure? And by the way, failure is good. Right? It is good. Failure is good because there's a result. I mean, we all want to succeed, but if we all succeed all the time without any mistakes, without any failures, how are we really going to grow? How are we going to learn anything? You're not. And what happens is when you're getting things right all the time and then you make a mistake, your whole world crumbles. We need mistakes. We need failures. We need to look at these things in our lives as a stepping stone. It's okay to fail. It is okay to fail, but it's not okay to continue that momentum in failure. Does that make sense? All right. The Rock from Brockton was as the greatest heavyweight boxer. All right. Hey, Jim, are you still on here? Let me see if Jim is on here. We're going to invite him on here because I don't see any questions coming at me. The crowd is small, which is okay. We can work with that. There's still a few people online that are watching and could be on Facebook. By the way, shout out to Facebook. Gambling's a lie, by the way. Gambling is a lie. So how are you? Are you failing? What are you learning from your failure? I tell you, we can come to a place of learning and basically waste our time. We can do that, and we can lose momentum if we're not present. And that's the problem with most people. Sadly, most people are not present. They're not really there. They're there, but they're not there. So that's why I really encourage you and inspire you that while you're here, turn off distractions. Make sure you're in your seat nice and tight. You're ready for a good ride. Get something out of this broadcast. Bring some. If not, you're just wasting your time. Honestly, you're wasting your time, right? We can come here and learn. We can walk away from something, walk away with something, or we can just come here and then come tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday, and you fall right back into that same muck and mire. You lose your momentum, and then you're back depressed. You're not doing well, and what the heck? You know what? I'm just going to give up on life and go back to gambling. The fun thing of gambling, or the fun thing of drinking, or the fun thing of way over smoking, or whatever it is that you're doing, and you're putting yourself right back in that ugly situation again. It's time that we begin to wake up and begin to realize what's really happening around us and to us. It's time that we wake up and begin to realize what's happening around us and what's happening to us. Now, if you're the person that doesn't care, you've got an attitude where I don't give a shit. I'm just going to do whatever. Then that's just your life, right? You don't care. It's just whatever happens, happens. But if you're an individual that is concerned about your momentum, about your challenges, and about your solutions, then you be present. Take advantage of what we can. All right? Here's another question for you, since I didn't get an answer yet. Do you need to make adjustments? Do you need to make adjustments? Laura says, I'm glad I don't buy lottery tickets anymore. Hey, Jim, we're going to open up the camera here. We're going to open up the camera, and at least we've got some conversation going on here. That's good. that great failure is a part of it, but can take our over our lives. Just keep piling on top of each other, and pretty soon you end up at the bottom. Yeah. I mean, is momentum something that we really need to be concerned about? Most people don't even think about this stuff. Honestly, most people do not think about this. In fact, most people don't think about a lot of the things that I bring up on this broadcast. I'm here scaring people away. Actually, I do. I scare people away, and I don't mean to. But we got to take these things seriously because, I mean, we can have fun and we can enjoy ourselves, but we really need to take a look at where we're going. At least while we can. We never know when we might get hit with a nuke, a bomb, or some kind of a terrorist attack, and then we're done. But until then, we've got responsibilities, right? You and I got responsibilities. We've got things, we've got places, we've got people, we've got projects that need to be completed and established. That's why momentum is so important, especially if we want to move in the right direction. We have to create momentum to move us in that direction. And environment is key, right? Where you meet, who you meet, and what you listen to is key also. So this is a good environment right here. By the way, I do want to thank you, Jim, before I bring you on, I do want to thank you for your contributions, your financial contributions. Listen, if you're being supported by this channel, by this mission, by all means, please feel free to contribute financially. All right. We do have a program that's called SciTech emails that you can sign up for, and you can be a part of an inspirational week as we send out those emails during the week. Okay. Another thing is, I'm going to invite you guys to come on board. We've got books on Amazon. We've got some wonderful books on Amazon, and I'm asking you to support this mission. Buy a book, give one away. They make a good gift. All right. We'll be done here in a little bit. So support the mission. Yes. Please support the mission. All right, Jim. That's got to pay the bills there. Got to pay the bills. Let me give an invite here for Jim to come on. Jim's going to share his experiences with momentum. Momentum. Let me see here. And since nobody else wants to come on the camera and share their story, share their victories, share their momentum, nobody else is willing to do that yet. One of these days, I'll get one of you guys to come on the camera and share your momentum. All right. All I have to say is I haven't gambled, but man, money is getting tight. Yeah. Money is getting tight. So there you go. Jim, you're welcome to join here on the broadcast. Let me get rid of the stop screen. Let me stop the screen there. Okay, we got that one. And yeah, and you know, money. Next week's broadcast, we'll talk a little bit more about money ideas. I think I want to do that. I was going to do that on this broadcast, excuse me. But I think we'll bring Jim on, and next week we'll talk about ideas, money ideas, what you can do to help yourself when it comes to generating extra income. Maybe we can help you find something from home, right? Do something from home. I work part-time from home. I also work part-time out there in the field. Jim is coming on. So let me see. Laura says, but at least you're not gambling. That's what counts. Exactly. Hey, Jim.
Hi there, Santos.
Welcome once again.
Hi.
The man of the hour. It's time. I hope you're enjoying your weather out there in Tucson. We're here.
Yes, it's rainy. Finally getting rain.
Oh,
Yes, we're getting
really?
rain over in the Sonoran Desert, so it's good.
Yeah, that's good because I know that place dries up, huh?
Hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Isn't that like, well, it's Phoenix, Arizona. No, that's not near. What am I talking about? Uh, Never mind. I'm losing track there. So we're talking about momentum, the importance of momentum, and if someone needed to begin momentum in their life, get going, something that's difficult, something that they must do, because we got to create momentum, anything we do, right? To keep it going. And sometimes we only need to create momentum for just a little bit.
Hmm.
Kind of reminds me of the when you send a rocket up into space, when Elon Musk sends a rocket up there, there's a certain momentum that he needs on the rocket for a certain period, from what I understand. And then there's another part of the motors or the engine that kicks in once that momentum is done with.
Hmm.
Is that the way the rockets work? It's like we go from one destination to the next, and then we need more momentum or something else to keep that momentum going. Am I
Hmm.
making sense here or what?
Yeah. I mean, like, I think that better understand that analogy, I think we have to understand what momentum is. If you want to take it from the physics standpoint, momentum is mass times velocity, right? And what's velocity? Is like speed, all right? Rate of change, And if you go back to your boulder example, okay? Now at the top of the hill, you know, when the boulder was just resting there, the boulder had no momentum, had a lot of mass, right? Gigantic, heavy, massive thing, right? But it didn't have any velocity. Okay, no speed. Okay,
No movement.
all right, so no momentum right there. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a combination of two things, right? It's a combination. You can't have one or the other to have momentum. You have to have both working together. Okay,
Mm,
and
mm,
I think about momentum. You know, momentum. You can think about momentum. In the metaphor or the idea as your activity. Okay, it's like the activity that you want to do, and let's say that the velocity, is the amount of activity that you do per time. You combine that, you're going to go and start building some massive momentum. The object, the thing that you want to do, and the amount that you do. Okay, and that builds up. That builds up. The more activity you do, right? The more momentum. What kind of activity are you doing, though? You see, see in physics, right? Momentum has mass times velocity. Velocity is a vector quantity. It needs a direction. Okay. So you were
mm.
talking about, you could be moving in the wrong direction. You can generate massive negative momentum, moving in the wrong direction, doing the wrong things over and over and over
Mm.
and over
Yeah.
again. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to choose our activity and give it in the right direction, right? We have to choose our activity and make sure it's moving in the right direction.
That takes work, Jim.
It does take work. I tell you, I mean, like, I just get back. You're taking me back to like physics, teaching in the high school. I mean, it's like, look, everything like has inertia, right? And what's inertia? This is Newton's first law, right?
Mhm.
Objects at rest, what? They want to stay at rest, right? They want to keep doing what they're doing, right? Right? Inertia, right? And if you're just sitting, laying around, right? You can just lay around unless you give it unbalanced force.
Like
You
the
gotta,
gambler. Yeah,
yeah,
like the gambler. He just he kind of burrows a hole there and
uh-huh,
just kind of sits in it after a while. Gets
right,
comfortable.
right, comfortable, right? Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of effort and energy. And I think about energy, I think about emotion, right? I think about emotion as that energy. It's like energy is needed for work to be done, right? Energy is needed for work to be done. What's work? Work is a force applied times a displacement. Okay. All right. Work. I mean, if you want to move away, right, from the gambling addiction, right, you got to put some energy into it, right? What is that spark? Maybe you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I hate this feeling losing all my money. I hate this feeling arguing with my spouse. I hate this. I hate being behind on my bills. This sucks. And
Not
maybe
sleeping well at night.
this energy, can kind of kindle and start a little flame to start burning some, stuff in your mind to get some ideas, some ideas of activity, right? That will start moving you in the right direction, in the direction that you want to go. And that momentum, you talk about momentum, building momentum. How do you pick up that? How do you pick up that momentum, that velocity, that speed in the right direction? Well, I think it's that energy that you're feeling, right? Now, I mean, it it's tough to have momentum because there's forces acting against that moving object, right? There's forces, that's friction, right? That
Yep.
opposing force. You want to position yourself, I think, in the best way possible so that you can have a tailwind, right? You want to try to get rid of as many obstacles
Mhm.
as possible and get things that will pull you right in the right direction so you can pick up that speed, right? What's that? This show, right? This show is will help you get that positive force in the right direction to
Could be
pick
a
up
part,
that
yeah.
speed, right? And as you pick up that speed, guess what? Right? You feel like, shoot, I'm moving in the right direction. This feels good. I'm accomplishing things, right? That's that energy that we're talking about to keep you going, right? To keep you going, right? Because it's like we're getting pulled down by gravity, friction, negative people, the media, right? Those opposing forces, negative self-talk that's
Exactly.
bringing us down.
Ourselves,
That's the
yeah.
friction, right? That's the friction that's preventing us from developing that momentum that we need. Good activities, good ideas, right? In motion, right? Over time, right? I mean, it's like bad momentum. What kind of crappy momentum can people have? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna go on a diet, right? I'm gonna get in shape. Okay, that's an idea, right? But what are you doing with that, right? Are you doing the necessary steps? Are you eating better? Are you exercising, right? Good idea, no activity, minimal activity, no momentum, right? No
Yeah.
momentum, right? Right? We need some type of energy spark to really kind of get us going, prime the pump, right? Get us going. We need that kind of energy to just
Yeah.
break us free. Remember, we're affected by that inertia. What is inertia, right? That it's I mean, it's the fear. It's the complacency, it's the comfort zone,
Mhm.
right? That's just keeping us down that boulder on top of the hill, right? You know? I mean, like,
Exactly. And sometimes, sometimes we do create
mhm,
momentum
mhm,
and we lose it.
yeah,
We get discouraged. We allow things to get in the way.
mhm, right,
And one of the greatest things that we need today, and I say this all the time, your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders.
mhm,
Your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. Momentum is also created through reminders.
mhm,
Right? We need to be reminded of what we're doing. We need to be reminded of where we're going, where we came from. And when we lose sight of those things, the momentum that we've created begins to slow down
mhm,
and we can lose progress. We can lose whatever we started. It's easier the way the mind, we a lot of this has to do with what's going on in the mind. We've been talking a lot about this over the last several weeks. But what is going on inside your mind, right? What reminders are you reminding yourself on a daily? What reminders? We have reminders will remind you. Something is reminding us on a daily basis. So it's either reminding us of good momentum, constantly going forward, or it's slowing us down. eventually, slowing us down to the point where we get a flat tire, we lose a leg, and you can no longer go forward.
Hmm.
A lot of people are there right now. They're on the side of the road. They've lost one tire, two tires, and now they're waiting for someone or they're waiting for something to come by and help them pick up momentum.
I mean, like we talked about energy, right? There's positive and negative energy, right? Energy, like working with us, or that can work with us, or that can work against us, right? The people that you hang around with, right? The things that you watch, on TV, the books that you read, right? I mean, yeah, there's these things can really, really bring you down. And even the way you look at yourself, that can create an energy, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah,
it's that's something that you have to be very, very careful of. And I think it's a hole that a lot of people are probably in. It's like they don't see themselves in a very good light, you know, and it brings some, in their mind, negativity is an energy, right? And it will just hold us down, right? It'll just hold us down.
and we
uh,
need negative energy, though, Jim. We do need negative energy.
mhm. Yeah, negative is relative, right? What is relative? It's like, we can go ahead and say that, and we can use it for us. It depends upon how we use it. It's like I remember
Yeah.
listening to a Michael Jordan quote. I think he said something like, uh, you know, you know, I accept emotions. Emotions. Sometimes I get angry. Sometimes I get sad. I accept emotions. But I have a choice on how I use those emotions. How I
Mm.
use those emotions. I can use it for
Wow.
good, or I can use it for something that's destructive, right? I accept that I'm going to have emotions, negative, anger, rage, sadness, but how do I use those emotions, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the positive, yes, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's a negative emotion, but how am I going to use that, right? How am I going to use that? It could be the fuel, right? The fuel
Hmm.
to move you in
Exactly.
the right direction. It's like jujitsu or something. It was like judo, right? Use your opponent's energy against them, something like that, right?
Exactly.
That's that. That's
Exactly.
that's a kind of a hopeful thought,
It's
you
like
know.
gambling. You can get so angry. You can get angry at yourself. I remember I used to get so angry at myself, but you can get angry at the event. You can get angry at the act, and you can use that to create energy. You can
Mhm.
use that to create momentum. Um, I, Keith, Laura, and Jim. Let me see who else is The Rock from Brockton, and there's a few others that are on this broadcast. I truly hope that you're thinking about the momentum in your life right now, what it is that you have going on. There's a lot going on all around us, and we have to keep. If you're not, if you don't have momentum in the areas of your life where you really feel that you need to be working at, life can be very, very depressing. It can be very, very lonely, and it's easy to give up and get entangled in the things that get your attention. So, creating momentum is something that we have to work. Obviously, we have to work at. You have to work at, and you have to guard the momentum that you create. If you don't guard it, then, why create momentum if you don't plan on guarding it?
Mhm. Yeah, I think the Rock from Brockton was talking about. I guess you can. He asked if you can mistake,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
activity for progress, something like
yeah,
that. I think that this is important. I believe you got to have your journal. You know, have your journal. You got to reflect upon what's going on. I can be,
yeah.
working, working, working morning till night, but I mean, am I just spinning my wheels, or am I getting anywhere? And if I'm not getting anywhere, why is that? Why is that? Let me go and ask that question. Start digging down. I mean,
That's the difficulty right there, is taking time out for yourself. A lot of people, there's quite a few people that have come through this broadcast. Do they take an hour or two during their week to really think about their life, to think about what's going on? Most people don't. In fact, most people are afraid to do that, Jim.
mhm,
That's why this is a good program, 45 minutes, where we can really reflect on where we're at.
mhm.
Where are you at? Where are you headed? Where are you going to be this week?
Yeah, I mean, like I I just like keep on thinking about the science analogies. It's like the natural normal, it's natural negative, like gravity just holding us down, right? Emotions, fear, right? That's one of those natural negatives that, just trying to keep us to survive. But, we have to, build that momentum to overcome that fear, right? To just break through that, bust through
Right.
it, right? Just like that rock going through that castle, right? Unstoppable momentum. Dave Ramsey talks about, unstoppable momentum is focused intensity over time multiplied by God gives you unstoppable momentum. You build up so much momentum, you have this critical mass of super force power, right? You have this ultimate confidence. It's like nothing's going to touch me. Nothing, I can do anything. I put my mind through it, I put the activity in, I put the focus on it, I can do it. And I believe that the energy that propels that unstoppable momentum is is the feelings that you get when you are falling down and getting back up, right? Not giving up. You say, you know what, I screwed up, I'm going to keep doing it. I
Yep.
mean, you went through it before, man. You say your gambling, fighting, destroying your gambling addiction wasn't a straight line up, right? Wasn't linear, right? It was ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and
Yeah.
downs. But I mean, I tell you, you have to feel mighty strong, stronger, by breaking through all those situations where you did fall down, you did screw up, but you didn't stop. You know.
Yeah, that's the key. Because I remember I would create some momentum and I would do good for a couple of weeks,
Hmm.
maybe even 2 or 3 months. And then somehow I would get that momentum that I had going, got distracted,
Hmm.
and I would fall down. I'd end up back in the casino again. And then after a while, the momentum, you have to create it inside yourself. In order to have momentum outside, in order to have the success outside yourself and all of these things outside, because we want it outside, but man, it's the struggle within.
Hmm.
Everybody wants a nice car, everybody wants a fat bank account, or at least some people want to stop gambling, actually really don't want to go gambling anymore. But you got to create that momentum.
It's so interesting. It's like the biggest hindrance is yourself, and the biggest helper is yourself.
Yeah,
That's interesting, right?
yeah,
Um, so
exactly.
you got to kind of, you know, work with yourself to increase the helper and lessen the hinderer.
That's right. So momentum is really all about what's going on inside your head,
Hmm. Right.
because that's the first place. That's the primary. You have to create. If you don't have good momentum, then you got to figure out you don't have it going on up here,
Hmm.
because you can't create it outside of yourself. Or can you? Can you create momentum outside of yourself? It doesn't work well. It could be, if you create momentum outside of yourself, it could be because maybe somebody else is doing, there's somebody else involved in there, and eventually they're going to take that momentum over because it's not in you.
Well, here it is. I like there's a law of conservation of momentum, right? Momentum is neither created or destroyed, it's just transferred. Okay. Think about the money at the casino, right? Negative momentum, right? What's going on? Momentum is transferred into the pocketbooks of the casino, right?
Yeah,
Getting them to grow and become bigger and stronger, right? And
yeah,
that's not the kind of momentum transfer you want, right? Because you don't
exactly.
want that. You don't want that. So yeah,
Exactly. So that's what we have. Any questions? Any more questions? By the way, thank you for the Rock from Brockton. Could you mistake action for progress? Yes, we all move most of the time in the wrong direction. We can look at our lives and we can see those areas where we're not moving in the right direction. Some things are going to be easier, right, to create momentum against, to move away from. And then there's those other areas, man, you got to dig deep. You got to come to this program, have your pen, have your journal, and be here for the whole 45 minutes and endure the pain that you go through here so you can create momentum in your life. No, I'm just kidding. But this is a great place to start on Sundays. You know, a good place, as I mentioned, your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. And that's what we're here for, right? 45 minutes. In fact, our hour is almost done. We're going to be ending the broadcast here. And hopefully, you've gotten some momentum. Hopefully, you're creating some momentum from what we're learning here. You can look at the area in your life. You can look at, because it is inside your life that you have to look at. You have to look, you have to be willing to go to work. And by the way, earning money doesn't necessarily have to be you breaking your back and working with your hands. You can generate money, you can create momentum inside your mind and use your mind and you can generate income without having to break your back. Those are just you can create momentum for something like that, or you can create momentum for a regular business where you are going to hands on, a lot of hands on. Depends on the type of person you are and what it is that you want in life. My call to action is create a plan and take action. It's kind of like what I always say, right? Create a plan and take action. That's easier said than done. The question to you is, do you have a plan that you're following? Do you have a plan that you're following? If you haven't created a plan yet, and you know if you have a plan or not, you know. If you haven't, you need to start one. Create that momentum. Start today. Monday could be a new day for you. This week could be a whole new week. You could be moving in a whole better direction just from a little bit of momentum that you decide to create right here. Now, once you create momentum, how do you keep it going? How do you keep it going? Because we're all different. This is a great place to start here. So, Jim, I'll give you some last words here. We're going to end the broadcast. We're at a little bit of an audience here. It's been real good. Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to LinkedIn. Thank you for allowing me to stream over in that direction. I don't know who we're reaching there, but we're reaching somebody. So
yeah. I mean,
next,
I'm sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead, Jim.
Uh, yeah. This talk about momentum really makes me think about physical science. I mean, like it's this is all nature, really. If you really think about it, I mean, there's something in there's like these chemical reactions, right? There's things called endothermic and exothermic reactions.
Mm,
Like, let's say that you're gonna let's say that you're gonna do a cookout, right? Okay, you're gonna do a cookout. You need wood, right? What else do you need? You need, you know, a match, right? Okay, that match represents a little bit of energy. Okay, a little bit of
mm,
energy that's needed to make the reaction happen. A little bit, right? But when that little bit of energy is given, it's like pushing the boulder up a little bit or giving it a little push. Needs a little bit of energy, right? But what
yeah,
happens, once that the wood is lit? What happens when that boulder starts moving, right? All of a sudden, we have all this energy is released, right? All this energy. So we have all this potential in us. All we have to do is give a little bit of that energy, that push, that little bit of determination, just get going, right? And sometimes we're
exactly.
so beaten down, right? That a little bit of amount of energy is just too much. But if we can get that energy, right? That initial energy, right? We can release something that's really good, really powerful, you know,
Yeah,
that that can take us in the right direction, you know. So yeah, yeah. I mean, it does take effort. You said make a plan, right? You need to take action. Those are the two
exactly.
components for momentum, right?
Yeah,
Continuous.
exactly. Exactly. Exactly, Jim. Yeah, that was a good analogy. The little spark, like this program could be a little spark. Now,
Exactly. Yep.
again, creating a plan, you could take a journal, you could start figuring out what it is that you want to go. And people say, I don't know what I want to do, or like Laura's thinking about career change. If you sit down with yourself with a piece of paper, eventually what you want to do will come out. You'll be able to write it out on a piece of paper. That's why it's so important to have a journal and follow your heart, right? Know what it is that you want. A lot of times we may ask a lot of other people and we go by their opinions or their advice, but not necessarily what we truly wanted. That will cause momentum in the wrong direction. So you have to follow your heart. You have to take time to really think about what it is that you want. Maybe you got four ideas, and the more you juggle those four ideas in your mind and write them down and play around with them and see what is what, you'll come down to one or two ideas, and then you'll come down to one idea, and then you'll begin to take action on that one idea. And even if that idea is not the right idea, as long as you've got momentum going, you'll be able to shift into another direction or make, whatever. As long as you're not 20 years down the road and then you find out, man, my ladder is up against the wrong wall. That's a problem. So you want to be able to do that now. You want to be able to spend time with yourself. You want to be able to use a journal. Or am I trying to sell you on coaching on this broadcast? Well, yeah, if you need it. And this only applies for certain individuals, right? Coaching where you sit with somebody that can help you decipher, determine, and get a plan together. A lot of times we're so proud, I can do this myself. I don't need any. And we're too proud and we keep going down the wrong path. We keep going down until something breaks. Get a coach, hire a coach if you need to. A coach will help you get there a lot faster, or find someone that you can partner up with. Because again, why partner up with a coach? Why pay somebody to help you? Because other people can see and hear what you don't see and hear, or what you experience, because we're all different. You put two people together like myself and Jim. Jim's got ideas, right? I don't have to necessarily agree with everything Jim says. Jim doesn't necessarily have to agree with everything I'm saying. But as long as we've got that common ground where we can work together and keep momentum going, we can work together. We can do this. So that's what coaching is all about. That's what finding a good partner is all about. Because again, there's a dynamic energy that's in, like I like to say, brain power times two. If you got two good brains, man, you've got some good, what would you rather have? Brain power times two or brain power times one? So that's what it means to create a plan and have something for yourself if you don't have something already. So there's my call to action. I appreciate all of you guys, Keith, Laura, Mark, The Rock from Brockton, Jim, and the invisible men and the invisible women that were on the broadcast. I thank all of you guys for hanging out. Next week, we'll be a little bit more prepared. I think we're always prepared, kind of, 45 minutes. We'll be talking about some ideas, Jim, some money ideas and business ideas and money ideas, and see what we can come up with. So hang out if you are in need of wanting to do something. Who knows? Maybe we can help you determine what your next career is. Never know. Be here on the broadcast. Remember to bring a pen, bring a friend, or invite a friend, and bring your journal or your piece of paper that you need. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank all of you guys. And Mark, if you send me an address, I will send you one of a kind. I think these are pretty cool journals, man. They're really cool. I've been looking at the insides, and they've got little guidance in there, man. I'm going to get more of these. They're cool journals. So with that said, I want to thank you, Jim, for hanging out once again,
Thanks,
Phoenix,
Santos.
Arizona. And remember, Jim also has a business where he specializes in motorized bicycles. For those of you that are into riding motorized bicycles, you're into health, you're into running, or you just want to ride. I just want to ride. Jim's got some programming there, so you always welcome. Jim, how would somebody get a hold of you other than if someone wanted to reach out to you? How would they do that?
Oh yeah, you can just contact me. Got the phone number 520-406-9691. You can also look up UMOTO bikes. Um, sorry. Yeah, umotobikes.com. You can also go to gorillagasbike.com.
All
But
right.
yeah.
So gorillagasbike.com.
Mhm.
We'll talk a little bit more maybe next week about Jim's progress and stuff like that. I know it hasn't been easy. So with all, with everything that's been said, I want to thank all of you guys. I truly hope that you walk away from this podcast number 168 with something that will help you either recreate, restart, or keep your current momentum going forward. With that said, I'll see you next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully, Jim will be here with us. And enjoy your evening. Peace, my
Thanks,
friend.
Santos. Have a good
Thanks,
week.
Jim.
Bye bye.